Well, I grabbed my charger, so I'm gonna do one more. This is different types of collection of data. So, thought I might as well just do all three, the first ones, because why not? They're all together. They all mean the same stuff. So we're doing 1.3. Um, email, reach out. Let me know if you got questions. Let me know if you want differences to these videos. If you hate them, let me know and I'll change them up or do something different. So I'm sharing the screen. Um, Panopto, they're either in Panopto or announcements, depending on what section. I guess this one's in D2. So if you're not in D2, if you're D1, it'll just be in your announcements. But I'm doubling up in the announcements anyway. So let's figure out what's going on. So how do we go to this? You go to modules, you figure out where we're going. I know it says 1.3. Here's 1.3. I'm not going to do the review. I'm trusting you to do the review yourself. I have faith in you that you can do it. So we got to do 5, 8, 9 through 27 every third. So shouldn't be too crazy. How do we get to it? We go to my math lab. We click on open my math lab. And when we click on open my math lab, so I got to move this. This comes up. We click Pearson eText. This comes up, and sorry, we click eText. This comes up. So experiments, getting data, all this stuff. Start with placebo. So I might as well do a lot of explanation of blind, double blind, things like that, observation experiment. I might as well just give you a ton of information. Hopefully it's clear. So here we go. I'm in Intro to Statistics. This was 1.1, which was basically just an intro. 1.2 was types of data, data types. And then 1.3, pretty sure it's going to be collecting data. Lots of data. Cool. So they're talking about placebos. What do they mean? What do they mean by placebos? Placebo. So to me, a placebo, it used to be a sugar pill. You can think about it as like a sugar pill. Now they give people like B12 and stuff, but it's basically just by giving somebody a pill, it makes them feel like they're going to be better. So they have to account for that. So usually some people get the placebo and some people get the real drug. So just by taking it, it'll be fine. There's blind, and then there's also the double blind. And sometimes it's not ethical to do placebo, so they have to like for like cancer studies and things like that. But a blind is participants don't know. So they don't know what group they're in. They don't know if they got the sugar pill. They don't know if they got the real drug. That's what they are. Now, the double blind is the participants and the experimenters don't know. Wild, right? So neither know. Do not know who is in the treatment group. And what do I mean by that? So we've got a treatment group, which get the drug or whatever treatment we're trying to do. It could just be more sleep or something. Then we have the control group. But here the participants and the experimenters just don't know. So why should they hide the experimenters? Because a lot of times experimenters will treat people differently if they're getting the drug versus not. So it's really always a good idea to have them both be randomized. And we've got experiments versus observational studies. So an experiment is we control for all confounding variables. What does that mean? Basically, we want both groups, both of these two groups, if it's a t-test, two-group study, we want them both to be exactly the same, treat them exactly the same, except for what the treatment is. So we want to account for everything. A confounding variable is just like something else that could affect it. An observational study is like we do not manipulate stuff, we just observe, and that's how we run our study. Do not manipulate. So it's going to happen how it's supposed to happen in like nature. All right, let's see what else is in this chapter. I guess I was clicking stuff. For that, I apologize. I'm just trying to find where I was. There it is. Cool. All that for just placebo. I know, crazy. No experiments. There's treatments. The individuals in the experiments are called experimental units or subjects when they're people. I like calling them participants, but that's fine. We got the observational study. We don't modify who's being studied. That's the main difference. Okay. Ooh. Oh, they got blinding here too. Nice. So we've got replication. So replication is when we repeat it on more than one individual. We do the same sort of thing over and over and over again. I spoke about the blind and double blind and randomness. Okay. We want to randomize to accept bias. So I'm assuming the next one's going to be all the different types of ways we can randomize. So we're not playing favorites or we're not biasing things. Are these the types of stuff? Okay, so simple random sample. You can use computer system. It just picks numbers that I have for people. So that's a simple random sample. So it's just everybody has the same chance of being in either group. That's all that means. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, so everybody has a chance. Okay, so here we go. So systematic, everybody seems to forget these. So systematic, you can think about like every fifth person, because sometimes it's too hard to get everybody. Oh, crazy. Stratified, because it sounds so close to systematic. We got stratified. And stratified is basically we break people up into religions or men and women. We break into groups, but the groups are called strata and take an equal amount. So what do I mean by that? Let's say we're college, so let's say we break everybody into freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and we take 10 of each. All right, and then the last one that people forget, cluster, we take everybody from a group. So we get every member of a block or a zip code. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay. And we didn't talk about convenience. So what is convenience? It's literally like going outside and be like, be in my study, be in my study, just who is ever around, whoever is present. All right, we got multi-stage sampling. That's a bunch of different spots at a time. Could read more into that if you want. Observational study. So observational studies are kind of tough to run, to organize. The best ways to do an observational study is to make a checklist. Be like, and have inter-rater reliability, have construct validity, like all these words. And I can go into more if anybody wants to run an observational study. But if you want to do observations, usually you don't want to be the only one doing the checklist. And your checklist should be very specific on what these exact behaviors are. So you should have it timed. You should be like, how long does it take? You should have a stopwatch. Everything should be recorded. These are pretty good, but that's just something you should think about, like super specific. Like I'm only going to look for these specific behaviors. I will record them accordingly. All right, so now we have some more types of studies. So a cross-sectional study, data is observed, measured, and collected at just one point in time. So that's cross-sectional. You can think about it's got one part, it's like where everything meets. So the cross section You think about it just once, okay? Just once. Retrospective is everything in the past. So you're going backwards looking at records. So think retro, like past. So you're looking through everything. You're just things already happened. So it's just past-based observational study. And prospective is future-based. And this big word, cohorts, used a lot of time for prospective studies. So in the future, you're going to be like, everybody, I'm going to expect these behaviors to happen. So really think, so the cohort is the group that you're looking at. They're using confounding variables that we have to identify for experiments, which is great. There's other factors that could be at play that we don't know about that could mess with. So all of this stuff, all of this is observational. We're not doing anything. Now, for an experiment, we're in control for everything. We get to control for all of these possible confounding things. So confoundings, so what are confounding variables? Other stuff that we aren't testing for that's affecting our results. That's what it is. Okay, we got a bad design, random experimental match pair design. Oh, I like that. Get measurements from each subject before and after. We got a randomized block design. Yeah, all this stuff is good. So you can look these up. Sorry, fly landed on my laptop. You can look at these more in depth, but match pair is like literally every single subject. Boom, boom. You get to compare them. For a randomized block, you're talking about a whole group together. This is like literally each person getting matched to another. This is a whole group together, and this is completely random. But I would definitely look for those. Okay, so errors. We all make mistakes. So let's look at them. So a sampling error occurs when sample has been selected at random, but there is a discrepancy between the result and the true population. It's also a type 2 error, but we will get to the errors. So sampling error basically just means your sample, here I'll use a different color. This is really important. Your sample does not represent the population. So even though you found something in your little group, it doesn't match the population. The non-sampling error is just when human error, like we make a mistake. So non-sampling error. So data entry mishap, data entry error, problems with like the respondents mess up. So that's like the participants mess up. They don't know, the directions aren't clear, stuff like that happens. And the last one is we didn't randomize it. So non-random sampling error. Our problem or our bias, our thing that happened is because you the responses, there's a voluntary response. It's like we did not random, that's what's called non-random. So we did not randomize and our sample is different. Okay, hopefully that's clear. Oh, all right. Well, we made it to the end. That was a lot. Kind of crazy. I'll do the questions. 5 through 8, 9 through 27. All right, let's check it out. 5 through 8, 9 through 27. They want the threes. Why did they give you the threes? Because they're in the back. So Makes your life easy. Let's look at 5. Oh, I gotta go. Table contents, basic skills and concepts. Here we go, number 5. All right. Refer to the study of an association between which ear is used for cell phone calls and whether the subject is left or right-handed. Study is reported in hemispheric dominance and cell phone use. Okay, that's cool. By Siedemann and JAMA Ornithology, head and neck surgery, blah, blah, blah. First thing I would do, I'd vet this thing. I don't trust this. I don't trust head and neck surgery publication. Why? I don't know. I just don't trust it. So I'm gonna go to Scrimmaggio and actually look at it. Isn't that cool? And I'm gonna vet this crazy study that was done. I'm just gonna put it in. So this is a website for ranking stuff. So here's head and neck surgery. Let's see what they got. Here it is. JAMA Ornithology. Okay, let's see how good this is. Oh, it's from the AMA. What is that? That's the American Medical Association. Let's see how good it is, though. Yeah, it's American Medical Association. It's got a high index. This is everything about it. It's been alive since 1925. Okay, so let's actually look at this. So this is their ranking, pretty high. This is how many documents, this is how many articles they put out a year, 237. How many citations per document? So this means just this year. Well, we should look at the year that this was done to get a better view. This was done. Oh, they don't give us the year. Well, we can just make a case on it. And this is how much times they've collaborated with other people around the world internationally. And here's the big one. It's Q1. Q1's the highest, it's the best. I can't knock it. I can't say anything bad about it. If you're a Q2, you're still really great. It goes down to Q4, but as long as you're ranked, like you're doing a great job. So this is the best American journal for medicine. I can't knock it. I was gonna try to knock it, but the proof is right here. It's a Q1. So there we go. All right. So let's figure it out. The study began with a survey emailed to 5,000 people belonging to an online group, and only 717 were returned. Looks like we have a low response rate. That's a problem. That's a little bit of a problem for me. But you still got 700 out of 5,000. You know, that's not too bad. %. You make that what you will. 14% of people responded. Is that different than the whole group? We'll see. To me, it's a convenient sample. Just got who they could get. And does it adversely affect the quality of the results? I think it does. Even though it was at this great journal, I don't like the fact that they use convenient sampling. Convenience, low response rate. I wish I knew exactly their methods for how they actually reached out to these people. That would make me feel better about it. I'd read the article. I always read the methods first. If I don't trust their methods, I don't trust their numbers. So what are we going to say about this one? I think it affects the quality of the results. Affects results negatively. All right, let's look at number 6. Is the study an experiment or an observation? Are they controlling for anything? No, they're just giving them a survey after the fact. So this is observational. Sorry, my phone is ringing. I will get that in a moment. Observational. But say why. Nothing was controlled for, right? Let's go to 7. What percentage of 5,000? Oh, we already did it. Isn't that funny? Who didn't know that was going to happen? So 717. divided by 5,000. I believe it's 0.17 or 17%. I'm just gonna look at the number, so I forgot. I lied. It was 14%, 0.14 or 14%. Okay, cool. What is the problem with this? I think they're different than the population. So I think the 14% is just way different than the population. So let's go to 8. Assume that a population consists of all students currently in your statistics class. So everybody who's online, describe how to obtain a sample of 6 students so that the result is a different type. So simple random sampling, giving everybody a number and just picking it out of a hat. So I'm gonna go number and a hat for the first one. Everybody's got an equal chance. All right, for B, systematic, I'm gonna put them in alphabetical order and take every fourth. Oh wait, we need 6, right? So I'd pick, I think there's like 30 in here, so I'd pick every fifth student after I line them up alphabetically. C, stratified. Oh man. Okay, so I separate to boys and girls. Sorry if gender's not your thing. If you prefer a different gender, just let me know. I'm open to all of them, but I'm gonna just for the sake of this, I'm gonna say boys and girls. I hope nobody gets mad about it. So boys and girls, I'm gonna take 3 boys because they just want 6, right? So these are my 2 strata. I'm gonna take 3 from each and randomly pick 3 boys and 3 girls. All right, what is D? Cluster. I'll take everyone whose last name begins. So for a cluster, I don't know. I don't think of a good way to get 6. We can say everybody who's from a specific zip code, and we'll take the 6 people from that zip code. So that works. So I'd look up and see what the mailing addresses are and just take every 6 people from a zip code. But I'm supposed to take all of them. So if it's not 6, I can't use it. And E, convenience. Whoever responds, the people who respond to the email first. So I would send out an email and take the first 6. All right, let's do a couple more. 9 through 27. Identify sampling. Okay. Cormorant bird populations were studied. The line transcending with aircraft flying above a shoreline in Lake Huron, intervals of every 20 kilometers. Sampled that this is systematic. Every 20 kilometers, they're grabbing a new thing. It's very systematic in my mind. They want every third. All right, so let's look at 12. A Harris interactive study, 1,013 adults were interviewed about washing their hands in the restroom, another 630 were observed in public restrooms. An interactive study involved 1,013 adults who were interviewed about washing their hands in a restroom. This is 2 different things. To me, this is this multi-layered sort of thing. So if we're just interviewing this 1,013 and another 603 who are observed, to me, this is just convenience. They don't give us any more information. So I'm going convenience. Doesn't say anything else about how they got them. We could say it's simple random. It sounds like they're getting them all. So yeah, let's do one more. Researchers randomly selected 50 convicted felons from each category. Oh, this is totally each category. This is breaking into different strata and taking a group of each. So this one is stratified. Cool. All right, we're stopping here. I feel like this would be good for you to do. Should I do one more? I'll do 21. Internet users chose response to this question. Is this news online satisfies print as Okay, so we're not controlling for anything for 21. Unless we're not controlling for stuff, it is observational. And just keep that in mind. All right, well, that's a big chunk of these. I'm sure you'll be able to knock out the four I didn't do. Good luck. Uh, reach out if you need anything. As always, email. Take it easy. I'm not gonna do any more today, but I'm sure I'll knock out the twos tomorrow. Take it easy.